Hello, hello. I'm reading all of your comments. Hey guys, it's Angela Wolf here. We are behind the scenes, and I'm going to give you a little tip on our special guest today. Can you guess? I'm sure you can, because he's been on here before. But in the meantime, say hi, say where you're from. All of you that followed along for the Delilah top sew along, I finished mine. I wore it all last week while I was fishing. Now I officially have 3 yellow tops out of the same fabric. I can't help it. I love it. But I love the photos that you posted while I was gone. So don't forget to share your Delilah. Very cute. All right, everyone. This is going to be such a fun show. Informational, educational, and some really good insight. Eyesight? Name it. Let's bring Jeff to the party. Jeff from CraftOptics. Hello. How are you?
Hello. Great to see you. Doing really well. Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's so nice. So we haven't been on together for, almost a year, I think.
It's a year, yeah.
Yeah. And for those that have followed along with my fashion sewing journey, they might have seen me in the Kai Sisters booth last year, which is the other Jeff is a friend of both of ours. We had a lot of fun, and a lot of people would go from your booth to our booth, your booth to our booth, and we go back and forth. And then everybody wanted to know where we went to dinner every night.
Well, are you going to tell them?
Well,
we learned a lot of things on that trip.
We did. So Wolfpack, you probably heard me talk about this when I got back from Puyallup. I'm not a big food tester. I kind of stick to my safe ranges. Well, because I used to get migraines. But you took me everywhere. Well, the whole group of us went. But okay, we had Indian food.
We had Thai food.
Thai food.
Yeah.
What was the third one?
I think it was Vietnamese food. It was the Vietnamese place. So
yes.
We got, yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it. I will say there was one that I still don't think I have my taste buds back yet.
That was the Indian food. And you tasted something that was really spicy. And I was surprised that you did it because you said you weren't that excited about spicy food. And we were eating the hot stuff.
Yes. And I loved it. And I kept eating it.
We're very proud of you.
All right. So we have to talk about eyesight. And the funny joke is, through time, my eyes have actually gotten a little bit worse. But I have an interesting thing for you, Jeff. I was fishing last week, all week on a fishing tournament. And I always wear my little cheaters, or like 1+ or 1.25, just barely. But I just to see. I like to see like really exact, right? I fished. My eyes were not on the computer for a whole week. And today's the first day I had to pick up my glasses again. I didn't even need them. I could even read a book without them.
Well, you know what it probably was that you were out in bright sunlight. So the more light you have, the easier it is to see. So even, and I'm the same way. If I have super bright light, if I'm outside, or if I'm out running or something and I want to read my phone or get a message, I can see it without my glasses. If I'm in my office, I don't. The light's not the same. So it's probably some of it's your eyes are relaxing. Some of it is just that you have so much more light than you normally have that you can really see.
Well, that's what these offer.
That is part of what we offer. Yeah.
All right. So I know not everybody here has met Jeff before, although Kimberly, I just saw her comment up here. I'm lusting for a pair of CraftOptics.
And if she says loops, then I bet you she's in the medical or dental world at some point, because that's what they call them, loops in dentistry and surgery, which is our background. So usually when we hear that, awesome, we know someone's from there because nobody calls it.
So for those that know nothing about you, that haven't seen our past shows when you've been on, or photos, tell us a little bit about how you got started, because this is what really intrigued me when I first met you.
Sure. So CraftOptics, what we do, as we all know, as we age, our eyes change, and our ability to see fine detail is affected by that. And so what we do is we have the tools to help you be able to see with precision, and then to continue doing the kind of work you love. So what we make are glasses like you see here. It's a full set of glasses, and into the frames we put your prescription. So we take care of getting that for you, or you can mail it in, send it in to us after an exam or so forth. And then the magnifiers drop down in front of your corrected vision. So I'm going to get a piece of here. I'm going to show you this. Set here, it's a little bit easier. So you have your vision correction in here. The magnifiers drop down in front of your corrected vision. Okay, so it's enhancing what you already have. So it's a full set of glasses. And where this discussion kind of started was, if you've been to your dentist and you see your dentist or hygienist wearing glasses like this, that's our background. So we were the guys who, through a company called Oroscopic back in a long time ago. In fact, it started in the 80s. Introduced this kind of magnification to dentistry and to general dentistry. So that's our background. That was, for many years, that was our business. We sold that a long time ago. I used to run the company. And then my father was a dentist. He started the company. He started it out of a need for himself. He was finding himself, first of all, in his 40s, not able to see as well as he used to. And also back then, dentists were sitting on stools and kind of hunching over their patients. So he was hunching over, getting in, really close to see, and having a hard time physically with his eye strain and back and neck strain. So he designed these for himself so that he could sit more upright, do his work, so you can see from a nice, comfortable posture without having to lean over. And then then he realized it was great. He could see from a nice posture, but then it was dark in there. There's a mouth. It's dark in the mouth. So he designed a tiny light like we have here that shines from directly between your eyes, exactly at exactly what you're working on. So it's not shining all over the room. It's just beaming directly on your work. That's where the concept came from. And obviously, if you've gone now, you've seen in dentistry, it's sort of a standard it's a standard equipment now. And throughout those years in the dental world, we would get calls from patients of our dentist customers who said, "Hey, I want those glasses like my dentist has." And we didn't have a product for them in the dental days. So we thought, there's enough people. We were getting enough calls from jewelers and quilters and people doing sewing and embroidery and all those, any kind of detail work. And we decided to redesign the optics a little bit, to lighten them up and to make them a little more customer friendly, which is what we came up with CraftOptics. So we started this. This is now we're into our 15th year. Our 14th anniversary was last spring. Been doing this a long time. It's not what we do is not an off-the-shelf kind of thing. We put your prescription in the frames. The reason we do that is that if you're amplifying something that's not your prescription, you're going to be uncomfortable. So we want you to be able to flip these up and still see as you normally do. And we work with you to make sure that it's something that fits the way you want to work. So that's kind of a quick story. But the bottom line is that we allow you to continue doing what you love to do without struggling.
I love that. So
Yeah.
not only that, I'll bring myself back up here. Sorry, I was reading the comments. By the way, there's a ton of fans here that already have the glasses.
Oh, cool.
Darlene said she never puts her
Thank
down.
you. Thank you, guys.
And Kimberly says, yes, you're right. She knew that all the time.
Yep.
So a lot of people before COVID maybe have met you at one of the shows. I mean, that was kind of when the slew of shows were so large. That's how I met you, one of the first times.
Yeah.
And you don't really appreciate how good these are until you actually put them on. Now, we were just talking about sunlight, right? It'll make you, you can see a little bit better. Well,
right.
Who has their sewing machine set up in the middle of the backyard, right?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. Well, we get a lot of comments from people who will say, well, I can only do if they're doing embroidery, for example, they have a chair near a window. And then as soon as it gets dark, they stop it because their lamp isn't enough. And so we hear that. You'd be amazed. We hear that a lot. Absolutely.
But I think the part that really, why there's like three favorites for me, the light for sure. But the magnifier on here, I tried to find a photo of this dress and I cannot. But when I do, I'll post it on Instagram and tag you. It was a hand-beaded dress that I did. And I could, exactly what you said, I would sit on the couch in the evenings to bead because I ran my business during the day. And I was doing this for a fashion show. So I'm hand beading And then it would just get to the point where, and this is 20 years ago when my eyesight was like perfect.
Right.
I could not see anymore. If I'd had these, oh my God, well, I would have never slept. I would have just kept beating.
We hear that too. That's why we changed the battery. Our battery now it'll go for like something like 20 hours on a single charge. And we were getting calls from people. We first introduced a rechargeable battery, I don't know, in 2018 or something. People were saying, oh yeah, I wear it out every day. Like, oh, that's a lot of, it was, I think at the time it was maybe 8 to 10 hours that it would go on a charge. And they would,
wow.
Yeah. So people that's exactly the feedback we got is now that they can see and it's comfortable, they'll continue, and they don't realize how many hours are passing sometimes because they're just sort of in that zone, which is great. I mean, that's what we love.
Well, and the other thing is the battery pack. You don't have to sit there where you're plugged into where you can't move.
Right.
My husband, I think I joked with you before, you should absolutely enter the fishing market because my husband and his buddy now, if I have these anywhere, like when we're going for a fishing trip for 4 or 5 days,
yeah,
they're like, did you bring your kite scissors and did you bring your CraftOptics? Because it's like the perfect fishing package.
Yeah. We sell to people who a good market for us actually is people who tie flies. So if they're tying flies or sitting at a bench, it's the same. The ergonomics are very similar. They're working on something tiny. They're sitting in this kind of a little bit of an awkward position. Lighting is critical, and you'd be amazed. We have some videos on our YouTube page and on our Instagram page with some people tying flies, and you can see how they're working. They just flip out when they can see, and they don't have to be right on top of it. It's really quite
absolutely. You have some great videos. For those of you that are on Instagram, you got to go to their page. Make sure you follow. I just love seeing the pictures of other artists doing. You had a tattoo artist. You had a nail. Well, by the way, I'm painting my nails tonight, and that's the other thing.
Put them on.
This is so perfect for that.
Yeah. We sell to people who do to nail artists. We sell to people who do eyebrows and other aesthetics. In fact, that's becoming kind of a faster growing market. So the eyebrow, I actually went to a show in New York to watch people to see how they work. And again, the ergonomics are so similar. Going back to dentistry, you're sitting in a position, you're in one position for a long period of time doing detailed work. Everyone experiences that same level of eye strain and back strain from hunching over. And we all tend to do that. I do it too. You start leaning and leaning and leaning. You realize, oh my gosh, I'm sitting like this. I should.
Very bad posture. Very bad.
And over time, it really can create some problems.
So Jeff, for those, I know there are some people on here that already have the glasses. Then I see some questions rolling in. Sure. One of the first questions that I always get when I'm ever promoting this product, and because I love it myself, I just wear cheaters, but a lot of people have prescriptions and they want to know, will this work with prescriptions? Will it not? How does it work? I know you mentioned it briefly, but just go into that a little bit more.
Yeah. So one of the problems that people get into when they start with magnifiers is they'll say, they'll be wearing a prescription set of glasses and then they'll buy a magnifier and they'll take, it's maybe like a single lens or a head, a helmet kind of thing or whatever. And they'll take their glasses off and they'll put that on and they expect magic to happen. And what happens is it is providing magnification, but it's not matched with your prescription. So you're getting eye strain and you'll get worse eye strain. And so people always complain, that I'm getting eye strain, or especially if they have an astigmatism. So the key to these working properly is that we say this all the time. Your corrected vision is here. This is just an enhancement to your corrected vision. Okay. So if you have a prescription, your distance prescription is up here, your near prescription is in the bottom, and we can do some other configurations and we'll walk you through that. There's a thing called a product wizard on our website that'll actually ask you all the same questions we would ask if we were face to face. But when you flip these up, then you can see as you normally see, you're looking with your near correction, and then this drops down in front of that near correction. All right, so you can see the bifocal down here, enhancing what you already have. So if you have a prescription and it doesn't matter what that prescription is, and we've done some stuff, we've done some prisms, we've done, just about any kind of challenging prescription over the years, and that will work as long as your vision is corrected here. This will just enhance it, and it'll be strain free. I mean, it really makes a huge difference. And we see that it shows sometimes in person. If someone is wearing glasses, they'll insist, no, I want to try them. And I'll look at their glasses, and I always look at people's eyes when I'm talking to them, and I can see, how thick their glasses are. I can kind of get an idea of what, what their prescription is going to be. And I'll know if they try these on, they won't, without their prescription, it won't look right. So in fact, what we do is like if someone wears glasses, like I at a show, I'll put my glasses on and then we flip the frame out of the way and we have them hold these magnifiers up to their own glasses so they can get an idea of what it will be like through their own prescription. That's how we do it at shows, so they get an idea, so they know when they get the glasses, in the mail, their expectations are met. They already know what it's going to look like.
Absolutely. So Patty has a question. I think you kind of answered it, but just in case, what are the magnifiers set for? And you pretty much summed it up, but.
Sure, and Lynn's on too, and she's answering some questions here as well. So she's helping me out with some of these. And so there are 3 different working distances we offer, and by working distance I mean measuring from the front of your eye to whatever you're working on. Okay, so we have a long range working distance, like from about here. We have, which is about 18 inches away from your eye. We have one that's about 14 to 16 inches from your eye, and one that's 12 to 14 inches. So short, regular, and long. And they're all for different types of things. So some people who do some various hand stitching kinds of things, they're used to kind of going like this and holding things close. And when they have to be further away, they're just not comfortable because for 30 years they've done it the same way. So they would get the shorter range working distance. Most people on a machine, if they're doing machine sewing, we'll do the regular working distance. That's 14 to 16 inches. That's a pretty common distance that people are in. You can always raise your chair or lower it, those kinds of things to get into that range. And of course, if you need something longer, if some people have neck trouble, which is really common, and then they'll get the longer range, which allows them to sit more upright while they're working. And in fact, if you lean in closer than and you probably experience this, if you lean in closer than the telescopes are designed for, it will be blurry. So it actually forces you to sit at a more comfortable posture. One of the things to keep in mind is, if anybody who's interested in buying, if you get them and you pick the wrong working distance, sometimes when you're in your studio and you're working, you're sewing, you think they'll say, "Oh, I like to sit up like this. I want to sit up nice and straight." And then when you get into the studio, you start to drift in a little bit. So if they get the regular working distance and decide they want to change to the shorter working distance, we have a 45-day money-back guarantee. So we'll work with you to change that distance to get you in the comfortable position that you're looking for.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of that is that this isn't something off the shelf that we just throw out there. It's something that, if you have any questions, we want to be your guide and guide you through to make sure that you're getting something that's going to help you work the way you want to work.
I see Susan on here. She says, wait, where did you go, Susan? I just saw it. There you go. She said you matched her RX perfectly, and you are also so helpful.
Oh, thank you. That's great to hear, Susan. Thank you.
There's Lynn. Oh, that's funny. So I saw this huge comment come up. I'll bring it up. It might cover up our faces, yeah. But she went on, and I was like, boy, this person sure knows a lot.
She sure does. Lynn's our optician, and if you order, she is the one who's going to see every single order that comes through the door, and she's the one who walks you through, any issues you might have. And she's got a ton of experience, obviously, dealing with thousands of these over the years. So
that's awesome.
That's one of the things that I think people are sort of nervous that I want to be careful because this company is just going to forget. It's us. We're a small company, and we just, we take care of everybody. Everyone's a VIP.
It's funny when you talk about small companies. That is almost a bonus nowadays because you actually talk to a real person. Just ask me. I had to call not Dish Network last night. That was a whole like 2 hour. Like Win and I were sitting there. I said, "I'm not calling." He goes, "I'll call." I go, "Okay, have fun." I could have finished like 4 books of Sudoku if I had done that. Yeah. Instead, I sat there and we made, we had like a funny laugh, and the music was terrible. So it's nice to have a small company.
Well, what's funny about that is I think when we started in 2009. We were worried that because we were so new, people were going. I mean, we had a background in surgery and dentistry, but this was a new entity, and it was just a small group, and so we kind of wanted to appear bigger, but just we wanted to people know we're established. This is not like just somebody starting fresh. We knew what we were doing, but then you realize, oh, people were ordering and thinking that it was going into some machine and being spit out. And no, every single order is reviewed. It's looked at. If you do our product wizard, we make sure that what you ordered matches up with what your answers were to the questions and all those kinds of things, that we track it. So no, it's us, and it's personal.
Yeah, Susan says you even stay in touch to make sure things are good.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
Beverly has a question. Can you exchange an existing pair, or can of your current pair of optic lenses?
So let's see. So I'm not sure if I understand. Is that saying so there are possibly two things that Beverly, you might be asking. One is, if you have a set of CraftOptics already and you have your prescription installed in the frame, if you're asking, can you change that prescription? The answer is yes. So every day people send their glasses in when their eyes change. We just did a post recently about cataract surgery. So a lot of people get cataract surgery in our age group and older. And so after that surgery, when their eyes settle, their new prescription comes in. Usually it's just reading glasses. Then we put that in the frame. If you're asking, can we use your glasses with these? The answer is no. So I'm not sure if I'm hitting the answer, if I answered that correctly, but we can't attach these to your glasses. The frame is a really important part of the product, because everything has to line up properly. They're designed to allow you to have room to see above. They're designed, when you flip these up, to have a nice big near correction on purpose, that you're not struggling to find that little sweet spot. So and I should point out, when I see myself on the screen with these, they look really heavy. And that's one comment we get from people, and they're a lot lighter than they look. People are expecting them to be super heavy, and they're the only way. The glasses are about 48 grams with a prescription installed. This adds another 7 grams. The key, though, is to make sure that you attach the wire properly. Otherwise, the wire will hang and add weight. So you put the wire back and connect it to I'll show you that later. But you get it out of the way, and then you can put them on, wear them, drop them down around your neck, and everything's out of the way. And weight does not become an issue. So.
Yeah, and I think I was so excited when mine came. I quickly, oops, sorry about that. I opened up your screen to show your website, and I had an echo. Sorry about that.
That's right.
I know when I got mine, I was so excited. I threw them on, and you're like, Angela, that's not how you wear them.
And it's funny, because people will send in photos of them working. You mentioned that it's fun to see different people using them, and it really is. We love to see them. People will send photos in, and then every time we get a photo that's sent in, or someone will post it online, I'm like, oh, they're letting the wire hang. So what I mean by that is, right now I have it attached to the lanyard here, but sometimes people will do this, and they'll wear them, but then they have the wire just kind of hanging like this, and this is heavy. So the wire is heavier than the light. So if you let the wire hang, you'll feel it. But if you clip it to the lanyard, it's the weight is gone, so you don't even deal with it. So that's something to keep in mind.
Awesome. Will you show them while you're up there, Jeff? Show them the battery pack, because it's not very big.
Sure. So the battery pack, I just have. So obviously I've done this a lot. So I have this the setup here. So here's the battery pack. This will go for about 20 hours on a charge. The light, I am gonna just show you the light. I'm not sure how it's gonna look here, but it's super bright. So I'm gonna flash you here.
Yeah, super bright.
Okay. It's super bright, but it has two different levels. You can actually turn it down, so you can turn it to a lower level, which is about half the original light. So it cycles through high, low, and off. Even the low one is super. It's still very bright. The reason we have the low is actually more for people in the like in jewelry making. We have a lot of customers who are jewelry artists, and if they're working on something that's highly reflective, sometimes they get blasted with the reflection. So that we allow them. We added that feature to turn down the light.
I love that. I'm reading some of the comments. So somebody just asked. Yes, I just put my glasses on because when this is down, I have this on. I mean, it does look like Inspector Gadget, I must say.
Yeah.
But it works great.
Yeah.
And I love the different levels.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a pair of bifocals, and actually I love them. But now that I need to see a little bit further, so if I want to read, I just lift my head up. But I just saw somebody say, do you have different size frames because you have a small head? I'll tell you what, I have got a pea head. Now it looks like hey, put it like this, you could look like an angel. Anyways, I have a really small head, and these do not bother me at all. I have to go to the kids section for hats and stuff like that. So I don't know if you have different size frames, but these have been fine for me.
We do. The one that you have is the one that I have, which is we have two. We have this one and a bigger one. This one has it's what it does is it has spring hinges, and we can bend these frames in. We can bend the temples in. We can bend the earpieces in. So if you decide you're ordering, just let Lynn know in the notes, or if you call and order over the phone, you can talk about that, and then we can actually take different, get a photo of your frame, of your current frame, and look at the size of your frame, and we can do some tweaking to the existing frame, shorten the temples, that kind of thing.
Awesome.
In general, it's a one. I mean, the frame and the design of the frame actually goes back to the dental days, because it had to be a tough frame. So these are titanium, and it had to have plenty of be big enough so you can see peripherally, but also fit a wide variety of people. And that's why you have this nose pad too, which is kind of like, so you can see it's like a saddle. So it just sort of hangs on your nose here instead of sitting on 2 points. And so if you're feeling the weight, and I saw someone mention they had to get used to the weight. If you're feeling that weight, sometimes it's a very minor tweak to that nose pad. It makes a huge difference. So even at shows when we're in person with people, they'll try on one pair and they'll say, oh gosh, these are heavy. And then they'll try on another pair where the nose pad's adjusted just a little bit differently, and they'll go, oh, these are much lighter. And they're not. It's exactly the same weight, just a slight modifications. There are a lot of things we can do to help that. So if there are some existing customers who are feeling that, let us know, and we can, and even on our YouTube page, there's some adjustment videos and things. Very, very simple to do. And you'd be surprised, a millimeter or two each way can make a huge difference.
That's amazing. I'm going to bring up your website here too, but hey, Robin. Robin wants to know, do you ship overseas?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go.
Ship worldwide. Yep. No, we ship worldwide. Yep, we do. Where is Robin?
There you go, Robin. She's from Australia.
Yep.
Australia, right, Robin?
We have a lot of customers in Australia, actually.
Yeah, I think. We've got Norway here, Australia, Netherlands. Trying to think of like the 3 main places. I think Robin, if he had said no, I would say you can order them, ship them to me, and I'll send them in your next batch of fabric. But I don't have to do that now.
Yeah, we do. We ship overseas. We have I'd say we see a lot in the UK and in Australia. A lot of needlework, needle arts in Australia for us. So yeah, we do.
Yeah. Susan says your videos are very helpful, very helpful.
Oh,
and I saw a couple questions regarding the cord there. Lynn will hit you. So if you have questions on warranty and stuff like that, just message them and he can help you. But I want to bring their website up because I want to just point this out. And of course, there's a discount for the wolf packs. You just stay tuned. Deborah, well, I'm bringing up the website. Deborah says that her husband, where did this one go, works in mechanical parts. Her spouse is a farmer and does a fair amount of his own close mechanical settings, some repair. Do you ever provide eyewear for people like that? Well, if you haven't, we
do. Yeah, we do. We have some people who do a lot of work with electronics, and we have people who, and you'll see some of those on our website as well, on the photo page. We also have people who do certain types of machinery work. It depends. It really depends. I mean, it's the same product. So if it works for what he's doing, great, and then it would be super. But it's we don't have a separate product just for that. It would be using the same thing that we have.
Yeah. I could think of so many different applications for this. So here is the website. As you can see, there are a ton of different photos here. They have videos. Oh, I just love seeing the different art.
Well, if you look at the, I think on our, if you go up to the top, there's a video, photo. It says videos and photos, and that photo page, the photo gallery, has. If you scroll down, you'll have there you can see some like wood carving and miniatures and painting, and you'll see some people working outside. electronics, and just a kind of a jewelry making, Pisanki, which is the egg painting. You're creating an egg painting.
Yeah.
Diamond painting. It just, it's funny. It's just obviously all kinds of jewelry aesthetics. You'll see the person who does the aesthetics there. Eyebrows. I'm seeing fly tying.
What does Santa need it for? To read my list of naughty and nice?
You wrote so tiny. You had so much stuff on your list. You're writing so tiny that he had to.
Of course. Oh, Julie, I recognize Julia there.
So yeah, there's a whole host of people. Yeah.
All right, Wolfpack, if you have these glasses, be sure to send them photos because I would love to see you up here with those glasses.
Oh yeah.
I have a couple photos.
Love is video of you working. That's like so helpful when someone sends video in. It's really helpful because other people will say, "Well, I'm not sure how I'm going to work with these," and then you show them a video. They're like, "Oh, that's really outstanding." Then they can picture themselves in the same position. That's what's so nice about it.
All right, Lois wants to know: do eye departments tweak these glasses to just take them there?
Some will do that. If you go wherever you got your eyes, wherever you got your glasses, usually they're kind enough to do a minor tweak if you need it. The only thing to be aware of, and I would call Lynn before doing that, is that sometimes they will adjust the nose pad as they would a regular set of glasses, which means they'll put everything, set it so that all the weight is on those two pads, and you want to not do that. You want to have it kind of spread out over your over your nose, so it's hanging on your nose a little bit more. So I would, before going to the optometrist or optician to do that, I would call Lynn first because she could probably walk you through doing it without having to take them in.
Absolutely. Karina wants to know, can you shine the light on a picture of paper so we can see the light cone?
Bet, man. I won't do it.
No pressure or anything. Thanks,
Zero
Karina.
pressure. So let's see. I'm going to put it on. Let's see. All right. So here's, can you see that?
I don't think you're going to see the cone, Karina. It's too big.
It's really something. So, I mean, if, here, I can even show you
we're putting him to the test. How?
On our dirty logo quilt. Okay. It's going to be so bright, it's going to wash it out. But you see that?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So it looks washed out on a camera, but through your eye, you see everything. There are things that, and we make these on purpose, and we use them at shows because it has just about every hard thing to see on this quilt. And so, and there are some things that you can only really see well if you have the light on, which is like black on black stitching and even some tiny beadwork that people don't even realize is on there until they put the glasses and the light on. And so it sounds silly now, but that's why we call this combination the wow package, because people would put them on it and they would see this, some of the details, and they would just go, wow. So that's how we named our product. Pretty cool.
I love it. The wow package. So let's talk a little bit about the differences in how, like, what they can order. They don't have to order everything, but Shirley says, wow. Before you even said that, Shirley's like, wow, very bright light.
It is.
Is that what he just said?
Yeah. So
the wow package is what I have, and it came in this really nice box.
Yep.
You can see the glasses, the case,
So
but
a lot of people like to travel with these, so it comes like this. You can just put it in your bag. I don't know if you can see that. Glasses, battery, light, and wire all come in here. The battery, you charge that. People just charge it overnight with micro USB or USB-C will charge it, and that's it. So it's nice. And that battery will last you a weekend away without even recharging it, most likely. So mine lasted, well, I'm trying to think. There was a trip when I had Kimberly that was here. She was here, and I forgot. Kimberly, were you ripping stitches out? Not to call you under the bus, but I can't remember. But you were doing something like that. And she's like, this is getting so, I said, let me go get my CraftOptics. Well, Wynn had just brought it back from the boat. They charged in about 15 minutes. It wasn't even that long. I said, let's just see how it is. It charged enough that she was able to use it the rest of the day. Then, of course, I charged it that night, and she could use it the whole rest of the day. Yeah. She wasn't ripping stitches all the next day, was she?
Kimberly, how long were you ripping stitches? No, she was no. Maybe.
But it's great for that. I mean, it's and one of the things that's funny when people get these, sometimes they'll call and say, I'm starting a new project because the thing I was working on, I looked at it and I saw these mistakes that I didn't even know I made. And we always tell people, just start something new. Wrap this one up, get your CraftOptics, start a new one.
There you go. New project, new UFO project. Is that how we go? Oh, that's funny. Joanne, I had to go outside to rip out stitches. I know what you mean. Oh,
Yeah.
Kimberly, there she is. She was seam ripping. All the difference in the world of 2 days.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Did I miss any other questions? I think am I catching everybody? Sorry if I missed anybody.
I have the regular range, Lynn says. 14 to 16. Somebody asked about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No,
yeah. And just I should let you know too, one of the things that that everyone should know is that we have a 45-day money back guarantee too. So for many reasons. One is if I were buying these, I would want that because I want to make sure that it's right for what I want to use them for. But during that period, also, if I buy something like this and I realize, oh, it's just off. Like I want to be further away. I want to be able to change that, and we'll do that. So in that 45-day period, we'll change your working distance. That's all at no charge. Even if we have to change something in your prescription, if you want to, instead of having your distance correction in the upper part, if you want your intermediate, we'll do that too. So all those are at no charge during that 45-day period.
Wow, that's
we want to make sure that you know, and if ultimately we can't get you where you want to be, we'll give you your money back full. So there's no deduction for that. And we want to.
I would probably say I can't even imagine giving them back. I mean, if you needed them tweaked a little bit, sure, but once you try them, it's like you're not going to want to be without it.
It's pretty rare to get them back. Yeah. Now, sometimes if the times I'd say when we get them back, sometimes it's people who have low vision issues, and they're looking for something. And sometimes over the phone we're not quite sure. There's a sweet spot where we can be really helpful with people with early stages of macular degeneration and other low vision challenges. But then there's a point where beyond that, it's hard and you just can't tell. So sometimes it just is, you got to try them. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, they're just trying to see whatever they can see. It's not, they don't really even care about working distance or anything else. You just want to be able to see something. Mm-hmm. So that's where we will sometimes see those returns, but it's pretty rare that we get them back. It's pretty unusual. And that's because we work with you. So the idea here is not throw something out there and stick people with it. Send it out gently and you get it and you work with it. And we say give it a couple days too, because some people put them on immediately and then lean in real close and realize and they can't see it. We'll call. We'll say, look, just sit back a little bit. Oh, I see now. Yeah. We walk them through that, and I think it's a little bit of getting used to. We send videos, but nobody ever watches them. So, we just what happens is people just get them, put them on, and then they'll call if it doesn't work.
Okay, so this is the new one for you, Lois. I had to share this because our friends on YouTube can't see that. She has to go outside to shave her legs. I'm not sure if CraftOptics is going to work in the shower, though. I don't know.
Not in the shower. Well, it might. It's going to be. Yeah, however, I think in that same photo gallery on our site or on our Instagram, there's a picture someone sent in of she's doing a pedicure. She's outside, actually. The light is on, but she's sitting outside giving herself a pedicure. So the long working distance is better for that.
There you go. there's a tip for that. So Jeff, let's talk about a couple of the specials that you have for the Wolf Pack, because you're always so generous to them, and this one's a big one for the Wow package. You've got two specials for them, and I'll bring them up as you talk about them.
Yeah, so the whole package, which is the glasses, your prescription installed, and the light, that whole package is called the Wow package, comes in this case. And this one we have the coupon code WowAngela will give you $125 off the price on our website. So that is always the best price. We don't do anything better than that ever. And so that's if you look on our site now, the summer special is 10% off. So 10% is $82. This is $125. So that's the best price you're ever going to get is that. Same 45-day trial, same the warranty, by the way, I should mention that. Someone mentioned something about the wire. If you're having trouble with the wire or something's going wrong, something doesn't work, you have a 3-year warranty on the wire. You have a 3-year warranty on the frame and a lifetime warranty on the optics, on the magnifiers. So
Wow.
take care of you. Yeah.
Trisha, I think you're fine because I think you bought them last year.
Yep.
Just scroll into your website.
If you have any issues, you call us right away. Don't suffer. Give us a call, and usually, in most cases, it's something very simple that we can resolve. Now, if you get if you don't want the light and you get the glasses only, we have another Angela coupon. That's Angela 60, and that will give you $60 off the glasses only. I can tell you that if you have, if at all possible, and I'm not saying this just to upsell you, but I'd say probably 90+% of what we sell is the full package. And the reason, and people don't realize how good the light is until they get it. If you get the package and you don't like the light, you can return the light and we'll refund you for the light. But if you're going to do it, I would recommend going for the whole thing, because the magnification is a quantum leap over what you're doing now. And then the light is another quantum leap beyond just the magnification. So magnification is great when you're wearing it, but when you add that light to it, it's just a whole new world. So in fact, there's in the jewelry world, a woman I've known for many years, a friend of mine, she teaches metalsmithing, and I've been trying to she just said, "Oh, I've got light. It's okay. I've got light." And then I finally sent her a light again, and I said, "Hey, just try it." And she wrote me back and said, "I'm so stupid. I should have tried this light a long time ago when you told me." She loves it. The reason it's good is that people, I don't think, realize until you try it, is that it's coming from right between your eyes. Okay. What that does is it eliminates any shadows. So if I have a light, if I pull this light over here and I'm working and I put my hand in front of it, I'm blocking the light and I'm getting shadows on what I'm working on. So if the light is coming from right between my eyes, there are no shadows. So you'll never have that issue.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. And by the way, this was a game changer last time you were on. Susan said the glasses qualified for a medical tax deduction. Sure. I would have not even thought about that.
Yeah. In fact, and so in some insurance plan will cover all or part of these, depending on your plan. But flexible spending accounts and health savings accounts cover these. So if you have a card, associated with your flexible spending account, you can use that. People use that all the time. So that's, in fact, years ago, I think one of our first years, there was a grace period until February for flex plan money to be used, because at the time, and I don't know if it's the same anymore, but you had to use the money that you set aside or lose it. And so in late February, we were getting all these orders and calls. I'm like, what is going on? They were like, you got to send these to me, and they have to be, invoice me before the end of the month, and blah, blah. It's like, okay. Then we realized, oh, that's what's happening. Everyone's trying to get rid of their, leftover funds in their flexible spending account.
Yeah. What is by the way, I don't think you have to use it up at the end of the year anymore. They changed that.
Yeah, I think that was older. Yeah.
Which is good, because I would have accidentally left money in there.
Yeah. VSP is a provider. You have to check with VSP. We don't process any insurance ourselves, but we'll give you whatever documentation you need to get reimbursed. And you can call in, and she works with that, with everyone on getting them whatever needs to be done for reimbursement.
That is awesome. So I'm going to bring up your website so they can all find you.
Sure. Thanks.
There we go. And by the way, you're on Instagram, YouTube, you're basically everywhere. Facebook.
Yep. Even on Threads now.
Oh yeah. I'm
sewing,
on there.
You should be on Threads if you're in sewing.
I know. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a sewing channel.
It's just for sewing.
Don't be stealing our name.
It's so funny. So one thing I should mention, which I think I don't know if I mentioned, people will say, want to know how we get your prescription. So there are two ways. So if you decide you want to order, you can order online. You don't have to have your prescription with you when you order. Just email it in after. There will be an option when you're checking out to either send a copy of your prescription to us by email. Just take a picture of it and email it to us, or leave the name of your optometrist and number, and we will call for you. So Lynn will call and get your prescription for you. So those two ways.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So we take care of that for you.
That's awesome. So I'm going to bring these up again. It's Wow Angela for $125 off the Wow package. And that is a really great deal. And I just looked on your website and you're right. There's only 10% off for everyone else.
Deal. Yeah,
So
that's our summer special. Yep.
And then Angela's 60 for $60 off without the light. I don't know why you'd want it without the light though. The light is really, that's the game changer. I mean, the magnifier is great, but the light combined with it in one tool is what really makes the difference.
Yeah, and then the key, and then the key is to make sure, and you'll get it done, and it's habit that you develop after a while. You'll get it down to where you clip the, does this show you? Yeah, you clip the wire to the back of the lanyard. The lanyard comes with it, okay? And so then you get in the habit of doing this. When you put it on, you just fling the wire behind you and hang it around your neck. So that it's out of the way completely. I'm keeping my arms down because I'm all sweaty now, I just realized. But it just hangs behind you, and it actually kind of counterbalances everything too. It helps that way. So you'll get in the habit of doing that. You take them, and then you fold them up, put them in your case. So you just get in the habit, and I do this all the time. You just kind of let it hang, and then fling it behind, hang it around your neck, and then it's put them on, drop them down. So you're not futzing with wires.
Right. You know. I need to attach mine.
Yeah, and it isn't. I mean, yeah, yours isn't there, but just. Of course, I noticed that.
Well, because it was hanging over here, I'm like, wait a minute, it's not on.
That's
I need to have instructions for the Winster. Okay. Hey. Yeah. I saw somebody saying what else that they use these glasses for. So this is really fun. So by the way, don't forget, take a video, take a quick photo. If you're not a video person, take a photo, send it over to them. They can put it on their website, but they love to see. I love to see people using my products. So I know you love to see people using your product.
It's great. We would love that. Yeah. It makes such a difference too for others to just see one of their own, so an artist like them, they just see themselves in that same position. And especially when someone's really struggling and they see, oh, there's an answer here.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the concerns that and this is, I think we hear this often, and that is that, there's almost when your eyes start changing, in your 40s and 50s, and it does stabilize after a while, but your near vision starts to go, which is why we both are wearing readers now. And we all do. But there's a fear that, oh my God, this is happening, and I'm not going to be able to do the kind of work that I really love doing. That's at risk. And so it's great when people can get these and go, it's like a relief. Like I can see this. Now I can do this the rest of my life. I can do this stuff. I know that there's a tool out there that can help me see what I'm doing. So it's a really fun thing to sell. It's a fun thing to work with people.
Even something as simple as reading a book with this light on it. You maybe don't need the magnifier, but that light, I cannot read a book now in the evening unless I have a super bright light. And it's so discouraging because I used to read all the time. Every single night, wouldn't throw the TV on, I'd be reading a book. And it gets frustrating. So I think that this would really help with ending frustration for not only the craft, but for other things too.
Yeah. And it's, the thing that I think I go through the same thing. We have to change in our room at night. I have to have a light on our light stand. And I keep saying, I got to get the light. Because what happens is I won't read because I can't see it. And then I pull out my phone and that's dumb. I waste time doing it. So I want to read it.
It's gotten so bad now that I have green glasses that are for reading at night. I've got green and brown glasses that are like the next level if I can't read a menu. And then I just have my 1.25s if I just can't read my computer screen way over there.
Yeah. Well, what you're going to wind up doing is what I did is now, I'm not wearing them at this because it's harder for me to see. But I wear my glasses pretty much all the time now because I was just tired of, I was losing my glasses. I was losing the readers, and I was, and I have a slight astigmatism, so this sharpens everything up a little bit. So I do just leave them. It's easier.
I
don't lose them when they're here.
And although I can't find the shape that I want, so I think I have to go into designing glasses. It's not your glasses, but just my readers.
Yeah, it's hard. I know it's hard.
I'm with the one lady that said you have smaller glasses. I put on a pair the other day and Wynn said, you look like Mickey Mouse. I'm like, Mickey Mouse didn't wear glasses. He goes, well, your head is like this big and your glasses are this big. Are you getting the idea? I get it.
I think, Lynn, I said, taught us that, you don't, if your glasses are too big, she's like, you don't want them too big because you'll look like a bug, because it's, they're too big. And if your eyes are in here, then you have so much space around. So you have to be careful, like not to get too giant. But
I definitely
it's great
got
when
the
you
bug.
can see, when you have the bigger the lenses are, the easier it is to see, right? So
The bigger, the better.
yeah.
All right. So here's the website. Again, for all of you, I'll drop a link as well. I have a newsletter going out later this week, so I will make sure I put the replay of this. It was going to go out today, or yesterday, but I didn't get it all finished. There was so much news. So I wanted to make sure you could see this replay. I'll leave the coupon, Wolfpack glasses, Lynn. Yeah, that'd be fun.
There you go.
But I'd have to make them black though, even though pink is my favorite color. I
We
like
have
black or brown glasses.
Oh, I didn't mention that. So we have purple, red, and black. So we have black frames.
Oh, there you go. That's what color mine are. Well, no, my chain is red, but my glasses are black.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we should, and we were talking earlier. We got you when we set you up. We set yours up as a bifocal. And I think because you weren't necessarily sure what you wanted to see when you were looking above the glasses. So when we wear these, and one of the things that we do in the product was, I'm going to turn the light off just so it won't blast you. One of the things we talk about in the product wizard is what do you want to see when you look above the frame? So when you flip these up, we know this is going to be your near correction down here, but above here, there are different uses. So sometimes people will say, well, I watch TV. So you're looking down at your work and you want to look up and see the TV across the room, then you have your distance correction up here. Some people are watching the computer screen, which, like my computer right now is about arm's length away. And so then we put their intermediate range in the upper part. Some people are used to just wearing their readers, a light reader like you do, 1 1/4 for everything. In that case, we would put what we did do is we put clear up here, making a wrong assumption. But once you got using them, you realized, oh, I actually want to have my near correction in the entire frame. And so we'll switch that for you. So that's something that we do with everybody.
Which is awesome, because when I have them on, I can see through those bifocals perfectly. But I notice now that after I do that and I go to look up, then I can't see what I'm used to seeing with my cheaters.
You're used to seeing something a little bit closer. Yeah.
I've had these for a couple of years, so I think my eyes have just changed a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but also it's just you change. I think when we talked about when you first got them, you're thinking you want to work a certain way, and then practically speaking, this happens a lot where people will get into their workspace and then all of a sudden they realize, oh, wait a second, I thought I wanted to watch TV, but actually I only listen to it, and what I really do is I want to watch my computer screen because I'm watching a course, or I'm watching, I'm doing that kind of thing, and then so we change that. Correction in the upper part of the frame. So we go through all that analysis with you.
And so
when you get them, you work with them for a while, and then you'll come up with had you been, I don't think you were wearing those glasses when we started, because if you had been, I would have said, hey, if those are full readers, that's what you're used to. We would have put that in to begin with.
I was not.
I wasn't wearing anything before the pandemic, and now I'm full glasses and the whole thing. In a short 3 years.
That's how fast it goes. So here is and again, Wow Angela for $125 off the Wow package. I would recommend, once you look at it, call them to pick out what you want. Lynn's on here. Sounds like she helps everyone.
She does. You bet.
And then there's the Angela 60 if you like the glasses with no light. So if you have questions about this, I have their website down below, craftoptics.com. I will put it in the newsletter as well. So I have a favor for everyone. If you're watching the show on Facebook and YouTube, be sure to hit the like button, because then I know you like seeing Jeff, and then I'll keep bringing him back. Well, okay, now before I let you go though,
sure.
Where I know you're going to, do you have any more shows this year? Is it later?
Yeah. So we have. Well, we actually. It's so funny. We do. We're doing it in miniatures. Well, the Sew Expo actually is in Madison, our own backyard, which is great. And it's a huge show. It's called Sew Expo here, the Great Wisconsin Sewing Expo. That is in early September. Late September, we're doing a miniatures show in New Jersey, just right near New York City. We do a lot. That's a whole world. If you look on our website, you'll see a bunch of miniatures, which is a whole new area for us. We're obviously doing the Houston show, so we're always in Houston. What else do we have coming up this fall? I have to update the events section on our website, but those are the places where we're going to be. this fall. I'm trying to think. I think there's one other one that's stuck in there somewhere. But we don't do as many shows as we used to. But that's just because there aren't as many good shows as there used to be.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing how before it was like every other weekend I was traveling,
Yeah,
and now
same.
I love doing the online, although I do love seeing people in person. But I feel like I see everybody in person because I'm seeing their photos online and we chat with our live groups and stuff. But
you don't have dinner with them. You don't get to have dinner with them.
You don't. And you don't get to experience some awesome food. When I got home, I said to my husband, oh my gosh, I went through the town and found that we had all 3 of those restaurants here that I'd never eaten at.
Yeah.
And then my neighbor, they're from India, and she's always offered me food. And she's like, just try it. I'm like, no, it's going to be too hot. So first thing, I'm knocking on her door. When are you making that next time?
Help me in.
Small container. Let me in. First thing she said, why did you change your mind? I go,
what happened? What happened?
Oh gosh. Well, does anybody have any last minute questions for Jeff? Otherwise, if you have questions, email them. It's craftoptics.com. Make sure if you have photos of you with your glasses, send them over to them. I need to do that. So I'm challenging you to do it. So I will do it too. You'll remind me to.
Yeah. And info@craftoptics.com is also, you can email us, but you'll see on the website at the bottom, you can type in questions and so forth. So
yeah, I'll bring it up one last time.
We'll get back to you quickly.
Oops, there you go. Where did the website go? Here we go. Here it is again, Craft Optics. If you scroll down, they even have a newsletter. And there's the links to all of their social media. Very easy to do.
A lot of reviews too. I think it'll be helpful if you, because I think you'll see some of the some problems that are similar to what you may be experiencing in the reviews where people are talking about it, and it's a pretty big. And you can look on Google too. So.
I have a group of girls that come and sew with me. They're all younger, and we're doing. They wanted to make rosary bracelets this fall. And so they can all see because they're like 10, 12, 14.
Yeah.
First thing I said to Win is I said, don't you dare take those glasses that day. Because I used to always do jewelry, but it got to the point where I couldn't get my rings closed all the way because I didn't see them as well. So I will send you a photo of our jewelry making day.
I love it.
And
I love it.
That will be a lot of fun.
Super.
All right. I think we got everybody else out of here. Nobody, Kim says she has her prescription ready. Oh, thank you, Lynn. There's the
there we go. Yep.
Craft Optics. Barbara says great info. Yeah, well, the Wolfpack loves seeing. I love keeping them up to date on what's new, what's great, what can help you in your sewing room or crafting room, or obviously fishing, or all the other things we mentioned.
Yeah.
And everybody, if you have questions, you can email them. Jeff, I thank you so much. Lynn, thank you for helping on the backside. Thank you for being here today.
Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And thanks everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
It's a lot of fun. Well, I look forward to seeing you hopefully at another show. If not, I'll see you virtually, and keep up the good work.
Sounds
helping
good.
us see in our craft.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.